Listen, let's call a spade a spade. And it's important for us to start telling ourselves the truth. Uh, I want you to really, really be honest to yourself because you see, um, the moment you start reflecting about every information you were privileged to be exposed to, it is the moment you start finding out some certain things that was never conveyed to you, or possibly it has actually become a pattern for so many people, but it's not the truth. You see, cheating in relationship is this: when you have something and you keep that thing from the person you said you love, right? And you are using that person's resources to fund your lifestyle. And the only thing you are doing is to bring yourself into that relationship. You are already cheating. And cheating is not just about having an affair with someone outside of the relationship you are in. Cheating goes beyond that. The moment that you have a mindset to come into somebody's life who is hardworking and you are not a hardworking person, you're already cheating. And also, for you to have a thought of somebody's sons have to pick you and do everything for you, and all you need to do is to come into that space to sit down as a liability, you are already cheating that person and you are also cheating yourself. And it goes beyond that. Also, if you are a man looking for someone who has finance, someone who has material resources that you don't have, but you are already thinking to go into that woman's life just to go and enjoy. Listen, you are also cheating. Cheating is not just having extra marital affairs, which we call adultery and all of that. That's not just it. If you have a friend who is kind and generous and loving and they sacrifice their time and they are always an asset to you, but you are a parasitic person, you are a liability to them, you are cheating yourself and also cheating them. And it goes beyond what you are thinking right now. Because if you are not looking at 10, 20, 30 years of your life, there is already a problem. And if you're already 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, and you are not thinking about 50, 60, 70 years of your life, there is already a problem. Because the reality is that whatever you think you would not tolerate from anyone, don't be the custodian of that character. Don't be the one perpetuating disrespect. And then you come out in public clamoring that people disrespect you. You see, I say this: marriage or any kind of relationship requires a conscious decision. You have to be aware that it is all about sharing resources, sharing information, and sharing your whole self with the people who are willing and ready to sacrifice themselves in order for you to have that. But this mindset of I need someone who will finance my life, and then you become bitter when they are not financing your life. Understand that the person who is not financing your life is not the problem. You are the problem. You have to understand that you refuse to finance your life and you are trying to get trip the other person who is not willing to do that bidding for you. And the reality is, when you come into any kind of marital relationship or any kind of partnership or any kind of relationship, whatever you may think about, understand it's all about exchange. It's all about positive exchange. And when negativity is present, we put our heads together and we solve that problem. But relationship is not entitlement. And marriage is not also entitlement. Neither partnership is entitlement. It is people who give their free will to be in a situation with you, and they are doing their best to honor those commitments that they made. But don't make them feel that they are not okay, because the moment you realize that you're taking advantage of them, that is when you would see that in every good side you can find in a human being, understand it was a choice. People might want to excuse it to say it's a character. Well, they they maximize that part of them because that is the dominating part of their life. But that does not mean that they don't have the other side, which is the negative. If you wake it up, you would have a taste of it. And that's why I say, in every given privilege that I have to talk about this, be very, very intentional to make sure that you are not cheating someone's son or someone's daughter. Because the reality is that you cannot eat your cake and have it. If you grew up from a greedy household, if you grew up with a greedy mindset, it is very, very important for you to start deprogramming. All right? You have to start deprogramming this. You have to start unlearning this, because if you don't, your life will be very, very hard. It is good and candid to be a generous person. And if you're a generous person, it is loving for people to be generous to you. If you are a very knowledgeable person, a person with intellect, it is beautiful for also the people that you educate have some form of value that they give to you. And if you are not that person that get value from other people, you know you pour into people and you don't get it. You don't need to consult the sky. You don't need to consult anyone to take a walk. You deserve better. You deserve better. You that treat people nicely, you deserve to be treated nicely. Don't allow this thing that society sometimes say to make you conform to some beliefs that are not actually the truth, because in the place of reflection you start finding out how beautiful love actually is. And love is an act of service. That's what love is. And if you are of service to a lot of people in your corner and they are not of service to you, then you are not experiencing love. You are only experiencing a one sided relationship. Because why? You are the only one given in that relationship. Sometimes people are going to call you to relate their problems, and then you say, "Oh, I have a gift, I have this talent," and you try as much as possible to pour in. It can be wisdom you are blessed with. It can be intellect you are blessed with. It can be a very beautiful skill that you have. And sometimes you treat your friends and family without charging them. And also sometimes you don't even. You give without taking interest. And sometimes they take it for granted. And that's cheating. You have to understand that's cheating. They can call on you when they need a favor, but you cannot call on them when they need a favor. When you need a favor, you cannot call on them. And sometimes, too, it is possible for them to reach out to you to complain and you help them resolve. But then no one would ask you, how you doing? So you have to start figuring where you put your time and energy to. Understand this. Even though, even though no one is talking to you about it, try to pay attention and listen to your own truth.